Hello, welcome back to I Can Climb Towers.
No, you can't.
I, yeah,
Okay.
no, you can't.
Oh, that tree just went down.
If a
So,
tree falls in the woods, can you still hear it?
Oh god, I have to cross the canyon. Oh wait,
yep,
there's the bridge. I forgot about that. Okay.
yes.
Okay, good.
We can go visit the Forgotten Temple.
I don't really see.
Yeah,
No, I don't want to. There's so many guardians in there.
It's very easy to avoid just one food.
just fly past them. Easy.
Yeah,
I'd
I never
rather
had
just
any
wait.
issues. Okay, so Mark Hamill got a BAFTA award for his performance in Arkham City as Joker.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Remember when the Joker was supposed to die in that game?
I mean, he did.
Well, yeah, but they brought him back anyway.
Yeah, but in a way that I actually like.
Yeah, but
They
it's
didn't put.
still like they didn't. It's like they screamed that they didn't have enough faith to continue without including him in some way. Like I know, like Arkham Origins was a prequel, and Arkham Knight was just Batman hallucinating. But still, like you can't go one game without having the Joker in it.
And then in Kill the Justice League, he's somehow back. Then again, I don't want to acknowledge Kill the Justice League as part of the Arkham series.
That is officially the last game to have Kevin Conroy
Nope.
voice
Yeah,
Batman.
yeah, that and I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, do you want to get slapped in the face? Just play that game.
No, no, I refuse. Like
Funny
Gotham
thing,
Knight, I am willing to try, but not to kill this Justice League.
I actually haven't fully beaten like Arkham Asylum or Arkham City.
Me neither.
I have them on Steam and I want to play them. I just haven't found the
We have
time
it on
for them.
PS4.
I've never played an Arkham game in my life.
Oh, they're good.
Arkham Asylum is fun. Like, yeah, it kind of does look a little dated, but it's still a really fun game.
And the performances of the voice actors are all great.
Yeah, if you want to, well, yeah, you could tell Mark Hamill was already starting to age a little by that game.
Which, although makes sense, it is in a already somewhat older Joker. Like, this Batman and Joker clearly had already decades of history, so I think that fits.
Meanwhile, Kevin still sounds as amazing as ever.
Yeah, his Batman voice just grew better and better over the course of the show. And then, yeah.
I was still sad to see him
Yeah,
passing.
Mark Hamill has confirmed he will never play the Joker again. It feels wrong to him without Conroy.
That makes sense.
Like, I just watched a retrospective about the original cartoon, and there apparently they described when they first saw footage of the show in the recording booth, they forgot to actually do any lies. They were just so taken aback by how good the show looked. And they were like, "Did you know that we would be working on this?" And and the other was like, "No, I had no idea." They had to gather themselves for a bit before they could get to work.
That's really
Oh, that
nice.
was yeah. One advantage that the show had, the original Batman animated series had, is that the actors all were in the booth together when recording. So they were actually acting off of each other and not just reading a script alone. Which I
Kevin,
think,
um, I remember an instance in the show where like Kevin Conroy like does like his Bruce Wayne voice as Batman. Like he's like dressed in the suit, but he does his Bruce Wayne voice, and you can like it's noticeably lighter and more like
yeah,
jovial.
the
And it
way
just sounds so off-putting when he's in his full Batman
yeah,
suit.
because Conroy has approached the role by the idea that Bruce Wayne is the mask and Batman is the real person.
Yeah, yeah, that tracks. Like he's like pretending to be like a billionaire
Yeah,
playboy who's just
like
skirting by
Bruce
with
Wayne
all his
isn't.
money.
Yeah, like Bruce Wayne is not completely fake. Every moment of kindness Bruce Wayne has is of course 100% real, and his more jovial attitude to when he is with friends, like if he's alone with Dick, those are also 100% real. But yeah, for the most part, Bruce Wayne is a fake persona.
People tend to forget that Batman can be nice.
I
Like the
hate that so much.
animated series showed that in spades that Batman can and will be nice to people who deserve it.
Yeah, like when Flash asked him to come to the Joker Museum, he just sighed and asked, "What time?" Which and I love what
I
Flash
just
says.
The
remembered the moment
museum?
where I remembered the
The Flash
moment where
Museum, Flash Museum, not Joker Museum, Flash Museum.
I just remembered the moment where like Joker's like dangling off a roof and he asks Batman, "You're not gonna let me fall, are you?" And Batman just leans on the roof, taps his chin like he's thinking about it for a moment, and Joker's like, "Batman."
Oh, they have such a great dynamic.
Like it's
Like,
just like brute like Batman isn't like always serious and brooding
yeah, he's
24/7.
more than willing to make jokes. Like when in the first Catwoman episode, where the main villain, the Claw, says some kind of derisive comment how Batman probably has an issue with fighting a woman. Batman responds with, "By no means, I'm an equal opportunity crime fighter."
There was also I'm trying to like when somebody like tricked Joker into thinking that like he had a bomb
Yeah, it
and
was
he like
someone that
ran to
Joker was.
Batman for help and then he revealed that it was a fake bomb and Batman
Oh,
actually
you're
laughed.
so funny.
Batman
Yeah.
actually laughing. Like it's rare to get Batman to laugh.
That reminds me of one of the best episodes of the show, the episode where we get Harley Quinn's backstory, where after she makes has a monologue how much the Joker will be happy with her, Batman starts laughing, and Harley Quinn is terrified by it.
Well,
It's
yeah,
just
like it's like literal full blown laughter. It's like
from
kind of creepy.
Batman.
Like
Yeah,
Joker
like
can't make him laugh, but
the thought that there's generally any romance between them made him laugh. That
well, yeah, that's
episode,
like
Mad Love, is
literally like a minute later, Joker throws her out a window.
yeah. You always take portraits from people who just can't take the joke.
Like
Oh,
I,
that episode is so dark. Like
Joker's
people,
relationship with Batman in that show is so funny
yeah,
because remember the episode where everyone thought Batman died and
yeah,
Joker
the man who
actually
killed
just
Batman
legitimately like sheds a tear.
and has
He's
a
like,
funeral with the cape in it, where he then puts a cape beside it.
without Batman, crime has
Has
no
no
punchline.
punchline. So we connect that guy over there and put him in that casket over there. Oh, that show is so good. People
It's such
say,
a Joker way to show grief.
mm-hmm.
Like he likes having Batman around and somebody kills Batman and he decides I'm gonna kill this fucker. Like he took away all the fun out of my crime spree. What's the point anymore?
Oh, yeah, that, like the original animated series is so freaking good. And also, people say that the show got a lot more child friendly when it went into the new Batman adventures with the new art style. I disagree so hard.
Wasn't that the same art style where they literally showed Joker beating up Harley
Yes,
and the whole throwing her out a window thing?
yes, that was the new Batman adventures, which is why. And it also has the most terrifying design for Scarecrow.
Dude, that design is so fucking good.
Yeah, like his original design, just a guy in a stupid straw mask, but now he looks like a walking corpse.
Also, the Batman Beyond special where Joker kidnaps I think it
Tim
was
Drake, yeah, Tim
and
Drake, and what he does to him.
brainwashes and breaks him into being his son
Yeah,
is
that,
like the most fucked up thing and it's in a kids show.
yeah, like they allowed themselves a lot and got away with a lot. Like Batman also bleeds a lot openly in the new Batman adventures. Sure, the art style got a little bit more child friendly, yes, but the story itself, no.
Yeah, despite everything, Joker is still a fucking psychopath and
But most of all, he isn't a psychopath that just wants to kill. He is still a crime lord, and that is what I think most modern stories forget. Joker isn't some those the psychopath that just wants to cause bloodshed. He is still a mafia boss. He still leads a criminal organization.
That mainly applies to like Heath Ledger's Joker more than anything.
Yeah, like the only Heath Ledger is really full on mafia Dan, but Joker is still a criminal that mostly is out for money.
I
What he
just
does with that
remembered
money is
I just remembered that moment where like Joker's like in like a tank top and boxers, like trying to find milk, and he's talking to like one of his goons. He's like asking where Harley is. It's like, you fired her, boss, remember? And he's casually like, yeah, well, he comes back. She always comes back. And she reads the newspaper. It's like it's so weirdly normal to see Joker just like hanging out, talking to his goons. Like normally these days, Joker's like completely insane without any
yeah, and even
nuance.
his goons are terrified of him, and him just having casual conversation with one is. Oh yeah, the Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker movie. One thing that movie also greatly shows is Joker would not be a good Spider-Man villain.
Uh, dude, like literally when Terry like gets under his skin by like just
Yeah,
first playing dirty and beating the shit out of him and then making fun of him back, something Batman never did.
yeah, like
And he
Joker
gets
can
like
take it.
it's just such a smart way to do things
Yeah.
and to establish how different Terry is from Bruce.
Get a clue, clown. The guy wouldn't understand a joke when he would bite him in the cape. Not that you ever had a good joke. Yeah, that's why Joker would be miserable with Spider-Man as his enemy. There is a video. I even shared it in the server. What are you
Joker
doing?
would not last
My
one fucking
face.
day against Peter.
Yeah, like the video was basically like this. Peter will basically wipe the floor with most of Batman's rogues gallery. Like Two-Face and Penguin are basically just smaller time versions of Kingpin. He can
Falcon
They don't
easily
Bolt.
deal
even
with
really
them.
have superpowers.
Yeah.
They're just
So
normal dudes.
yeah, Poison Ivy. Yeah, she has plant powers. Oh, not that impressive. Scarecrow, I
Uh,
guess. Depending, there's a high chance he's just flat out immune against it due to his spider DNA.
it's just like they only work because Bruce doesn't have any powers. He's
Yeah,
just
exactly. The only villains that he explained that he thought could be a danger, a true danger to Spider-Man, would be Ra's al Ghul.
oh yeah, he would be terrible.
Yeah, like Rage would be a true match against Peter, but most others, no.
I would argue
But
like Killer Croc could like give Peter somewhat of a hard time too.
Killer Croc is basically just a smart version of the Lizard.
Yeah, I'm
And
trying to
Bane,
think.
and
Oh,
also, and Spider-Man is physically stronger than Bane and Killer Croc.
Dude, imagine big 10-foot 500-pound bulging muscles Bane rushing to punch Spider-Man and he stops him with one hand.
Yes, that's what.
That would be the most humbling shit.
Yeah, and Spidey could so easily deal with Bane. Also, his Spidey sense would make any form of stealth against Spider-Man complete and utterly useless.
Well, that's basically like if you swap Batman and Superman with each other, they would like mop the floor with each other's rogues
Not
galleries. Like,
necessarily. The comics have shown that Lex Luthor can outsmart Batman.
okay, yeah, well, Lex is
Yeah,
like his
Lex,
own.
but the other villains, yeah, Batman would have no trouble with any of them because they're all one-trick horses most of the time.
Lex is pretty much unequal, if not smarter than Bruce.
Yeah, honestly, Lex is in my eyes the equivalent to Doctor Doom in DC. He is a villain that can easily work as a villain for every DC villain, a hero.
He teamed up with Joker one time, didn't he?
Yeah, and that never goes well.
Well, yeah. That
No matter
reminds
the
me of like
incarnation.
the Red Hood movie where Ra's al Ghul hires Joker to do something, like mess with Batman and Robin, but Joker takes it way too far and ends up
Hmm.
killing Jason Todd. And
Oh yeah.
Raj was like, yeah, that was way too far. I'm just not gonna fuck with you again. Like he even tried to bring Jason back and that didn't really go well.
Hmm. But in turn, While Spider-Man would have no
I like
problem
that.
with
I like this
Batman's.
guy. Just like he just gives you his entire life savings.
Okay.
It's like, please don't, please actually use it the way I want you to instead of just using it on random garbage, please.
This man
Oh.
sure is trusting.
Yeah. But yeah,
It's a good thing Link is too nice to actually do that.
hmm while
It
Spider-Man would have
depends
no
on who's
problem with
playing.
while while Spider-Man would have no problems with Batman's woes, it would look different for Batman.
Dude,
Like,
Batman
okay,
trying to fight fucking Electro would be so funny.
yeah, like he could most of them, like Shocker, Scorpion, Rhino, he would be able to overcome them relatively
Get
easily.
back here, Shocker!
But Doctor Octopus, that should be more of a challenge. But Venom and Carnage, Batman has no chance. Batman cannot beat Venom or Carnage in a one-on-one fight.
Batman could barely fight Bane. Do you think he can last against fucking Venom?
No.
Or much less Carnage. Carnage is a fucking serial killer.
Yeah, like also he also would have problems with the Green Goblin. Like the Green Goblin is basically Joker, but with high-tech gear on par and intelligence on par with Batman.
And Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman, he probably could find something to work against Sandman, but yeah, Sandman is basically a super powerful Clayface.
You don't realize how fucking overpowered Spider-Man's rogue gallery actually are.
Yeah, most of them are one-trick phonies, so you probably don't notice it, but yeah, Spider-Man is actually a top-tier hero in terms of his heroics. It's just he always is kind of kept as the underdog. Which is kind of unfair. Like, honestly, I think Peter deserves to be considered. I would wish a, a show that has Peter as a permanent member of the Avengers.
Yeah,
Okay,
that ain't
to
gonna
be
happen
fair,
anytime soon.
on the other hand, Spider-Man is one of the most popular superheroes of all time.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the comics just kind of treat him like trash these
yeah. Like,
days.
come on. Like, there's only one comics, one where one of the heroes actually spoke up against J. Jonah Jameson.
Wasn't it Captain America?
Yes, it was Captain America, and he compared him to Hitler.
I've
Like he
seen
said,
people like you, and it zooms in on JJ's fucking
"Yeah, I
mustache.
once knew a man like you." And
Like
and
comparing
you see,
JJJ to fucking Hitler is
yeah, and you later see him. He has shaved off his mustache.
I know like he's an asshole, but comparing him to
Yeah,
Hitler
he's
is
not a
kind of
Hitler, so like he is an asshole, but he generally means well. Like he
like
generally is worried about in Marvel's in a game, in the Insomniac game, when the assassination attempt happens, he even actually acknowledges, no, this is not Spider-Man's fault. Good. He later backpedals and says, yes, he is kinda at fault, but he does not blame Spider-Man directly for this. He acknowledges, no, this was the work of sick people that need to be stopped, and I hope that the police is doing justice. And my heart is with the people who lost family members. Like, he is not a 100% terrible person. He
I
just
mean,
fucking
again,
hates
there's that
superheroes.
whole thing of the live action movies where he doesn't sell out Peter.
Yeah,
yeah,
like, yeah, he
I
simply
think
hates Spider-Man because of his secret identity.
he in the original comic run in the 60s where Peter first gets his job, he's like one of JJ's workers is like, "Are you sure the kid can handle it?" And JJ is reading about Peter's uncle being killed. And he's like, "The kid
Oh.
just needs some help right now." And like that of all things is just
Mm-hmm.
proves to me that he is a good person. Like he just wants to help Peter out, and he doesn't know that Peter is Spider-Man, and he hates Spider-Man because one, the whole secret identity and being a vigilante outside of the law is not something he agrees with, which
Yeah.
is a fair point.
Yeah, like, yeah. The only
Like
problem is at
even
this
though,
point.
sorry, I keep talking over you, but
No, it's fine. Like, I think it's okay if J.
Ooh,
Jonah Jameson
diamonds.
starts as anti-Spider-Man, but the problem is they keep him as anti-Spider-Man even when Spidey repeatedly proves himself. I think what they should do is have him start out But then over time, he begrudgingly starts to admit, yes, Spider-Man is a good person. He is trying to help. I still disapprove of his vigilantism, and I will never acknowledge him as a true crime fighter. He is doing the good work, but he should stop. Like that is the attitude J. Jonah
Yeah,
Jameson
that
he
is
should.
kind of what it is reasonable that vigilantes like shouldn't do people's jobs for them, even if they do mean well. That is like
Yeah,
an issue. Even in some cases where JJJ does like acknowledge Spider-Man as a hero, it's like you're still just a vigilante
yeah,
doing doing
and
something for them.
yeah.
And
At one of his
that is something that sorry again. That is something like Peter and eventually Miles do. Like they kind of just like get out of the way of the cops as soon as they're done doing what they're doing so they can do their jobs.
yeah, like that's the best they should do.
Like yeah, we're finished here. Now let's just leave them for the cops to deal with so we don't like overstep. Because I'm sure like Peter probably dealt with that before.
Yeah, like the reason he's like for example, he doesn't have a issue with Captain America because Captain America is part of the military. He works for the government.
Yeah,
Tony,
everybody loves Captain because he's actually
yeah,
like an officially recognized person. He fought in World War II. He's like a national hero.
yeah, and I think Iron Man he has no issue with Iron Man because first of all, Tony doesn't have a secret identity, and secondly, Tony mostly fights with threats that are on a high tech level that the police can't handle.
Yeah, like Tony,
While
first of all, Tony doesn't give a fuck that people know he's Iron Man. He doesn't care. Because he's like he's so powerful it doesn't really matter to him. And
yeah,
secondly, yeah, he's on the Avengers. He mostly deals with like shit way beyond
yeah,
what the
while
police can do.
most of Spider-Man's villains are at the end of the day just crooks with high-tech gear. Like the Kingpin is a run-of-the-mill normal crime lord. Technically, that should be the police's job to handle, and Spider-Man interfering in that can legit help Kingpin to get off scot-free. Like this is
Yeah,
a genuine issue.
I think that has happened before where like Peter tried to get him arrested and it just didn't go anywhere because
Yeah,
he was almost charged with trespassing at one point, and it's uh like
yeah, that was
Kingpin.
also in an episode of the Batman animated show. Poison Ivy was instead of being sent to jail, was sent back to Arkham because it was Batman that arrested her, not an actual cop.
Yeah, like trying to think. The Hulk is like people
Jameson
generally,
hates Hulk.
yeah, because he's like just a wild animal that destroys
Which,
everything.
to be yet depending on the version, but yet to be fair, the fact that Hulk can with a single instant lose his temper and snap is generally dangerous.
Yeah, I
Granted,
don't
that is
really.
yeah, like I
When you
kind
look
of
at
get
it
why people are afraid of it.
from like in universe, having a hero that can just snap at any point and
hmm
cause a lot of damage would be kind of nerve wracking.
What is JJ stance on mutants?
I think he. That's a good question. I don't think I ever really looked into that because generally the populace is kind of like anti-mutant.
Yeah, like that is the thing. One issue I have with the X Men: the X Men always feel very disconnected from the wider Marvel universe.
I know, right? It's so
I haven't
like
even like watched the X Men movies or read the comics, but even I can tell that that's kind of how it feels.
Yeah,
yeah,
like
because like uh, X-Men does have like a really compelling and interesting stories about like racism, like discrimination, the society treating other people differently, but it compared to the rest of the Marvel universe, it just doesn't feel like connected at all. Like
yeah, like you would think that people like Iron Man, Captain America, you would think those guys would openly declare themselves to be pro mutant.
yeah, like why doesn't Iron Man like use his fortune to help out
Yeah, like
mutants? Why doesn't
honest, like no, it doesn't even have to be a big mention. Just mention that Stark Industries is funding the Xavier Institute. Like he's one of their benefactors. Just a small mention like that would already help a lot with the world building.
Captain America would not stand for that shit for one single second. He
Yeah,
fought in a war. against
against.
people like
Yeah.
that.
Heck, he probably would even like Magneto's backstory is that he was in a concentration camp and he's terrified humans will do the exact same thing to all of his people. And
I
I
can
can honestly
hmm,
go on.
but I was gonna say I can imagine like Captain America meeting Magneto and hearing his story, and I don't know. I feel like he would probably say something like, "I'm sorry, I couldn't have been there to save you."
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. He would probably apologize and say, sorry.
Is that what he'd say? Jesus,
It went around the wrong pipe.
I'm just
Okay.
imagining Captain America saying that. Like he's trying to say sorry, but he accidentally swallowed something the wrong way.
But yeah, Captain would probably actually try to talk with Magneto and assure him, I won't let that happen. And Cap technically is an artificial mutant, so Magneto would probably even somewhat trust him.
Well, yeah, Captain's like you can trust Captain.
Yeah. Uh,
I think there was
did Captain America and Magneto ever fight?
I don't remember. I remember Magneto talking to Spider-Man. Wait, no, that wasn't Magneto. That was Doctor Doom. Never mind.
Yeah. But Spider-Man has fought Doom a lot.
Yeah, like Doctor Doom's like you've to Spider-Man. It's like you've earned my respect, and Spider-Man's like respectively, I don't want it.
Yeah, like I actually got introduced to Doctor Doom via the old Spider-Man cartoon. And then I
I've
saw
never
the
really seen any like genuine form of Doctor Doom.
yeah, I
He's a
only
total fucking badass in the comics, and it just does not show in the movies.
yeah, especially yeah, the Fantastic Four movies. That version of Doom is so horrible.
I still remember when he's like, I was a god once, and I found it beneath me. And that also the comic where he just one shots Thanos. After Thanos admits that he doesn't have the Infinity Stones anymore. And he's like, I'm still Thanos the Great, and then Doom just kills him, and he's like, that seems untrue to me.
Yeah, like Doom is generally a cool villain. I like that Marvel has this one big bad villain that honestly works with every superhero. You can pit Doom against most heroes and he will be a good performance.
There was also an issue where Reed Richards like his wife or something is like dying and they
Hmm.
can't figure it out, so they go to Doom for help. And Doom actually goes along with it. He saves her, but in exchange, he wants to be the one to pick out the name of Reed's daughter, just to
Okay.
remind him of who was the one that saved his wife.
Oh, yeah, that's a Doom thing to do. Like the
Yeah,
thing
like
about
you
Doom
couldn't
is,
save your wife, I could. So this is my fuck you
yeah,
to
like the
you.
two used to be rivals in some continuity, so that is like, yeah, that fits.
Ooh,
Oh, you're seeing a memory.
Yeah.
it's the first one.
And you're doing it out of order, you
Oh, who
uh
cares?
Come on, man.
frankly, how dare you?
The thing about also what makes Doom interesting is he isn't really doing what he's doing just for evil's sake. Like Doom genuinely believes that he is trying to do a good thing. He is just the kind of guy with the mindset you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Yeah, well, Magneto's the same way. Like,
Yeah, like okay, yeah, he is. They're definitely both horribly evil people for what they're doing, but they have a noble goal in the end, and I think that makes them such interesting villains.
yeah, definitely. Also,
Unless you're
this
someone
Zelda
like
is the best Zelda in every Zelda game ever,
yes,
and I won't hear otherwise.
Absolutely. Although
to be fair, the
I
competition isn't
prefer her
exactly
shorter
big.
hair.
I
Yeah,
like her both ways, but her shorter hair is definitely really cute.
I
it
the thing is,
has grown on me.
I really like this version of her, but ever since I've like now that I've seen Tears of the Kingdom one, I like that one even more. But no, yeah, I mean, like I think the only other one that people would like point to is like Skyward Sword.
Yeah, because let's be honest, most Zeldas and Tetra.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
otherwise, especially Twilight Princess Zelda or the original Zeldas, they're just plot
they
devices.
they don't really have a personality. Like it's kind of funny that since Skyward Sword, they've really been pushing like Link and Zelda as like a couple.
Yeah, like I think before that it was never really a thing. Like it
Yeah,
was in
not
the
really.
fans, but not in the games
do
themselves.
you think it'll ever
Yeah,
actually go all the way with it though?
I mean, it technically did in Skyward Sword. Like I think it's pretty much all but confirmed that they became a couple in that
Yeah,
game.
but it's not. That's
yeah.
what I'm
Well,
saying.
it's not like an on screen they're dating
Mm,
thing. It's
Like
always like
at least Mario gets a kiss on the cheek every once in a while.
sometimes. Yeah.
he wants more than a kiss on the cheek, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he wants that pie.
Oh, oh, I don't know if I can do this.
Do it,
Yeah.
do it, do it,
No,
do
I
it,
I don't have enough
do
faith
it.
in myself,
Well, it's good
especially
thing
Swifty.
with how
You should
rusty
have
I
won.
am.
You should have worn the brown pants.
Anyway, yeah, since Skyward Sword, they've really been leaning in on those two being a couple, but they haven't really like confirmed
Well,
that they're dating. Like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is like the most heavy they've ever leaned into it,
Yeah.
but it's still like
Like they're
not.
living together.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll ever like go straight into it because Nintendo doesn't really like to change the status quo that much.
Yeah, they're way too stuck in them. They're really stuck in
Like
their ways
Mario
sometimes.
is always going to save Peach from Bowser. Link's always going to save Zelda and save Hyrule.
I think the only time that they'll ever change the Mario like stuff is if Miyamoto passes away.
Yeah,
I mean,
genuinely.
Mario. They recently more have Peach be a playable character instead of her being kidnapped.
Yeah, but the general like tone of the
Yeah.
games is still like the same. You go across the different lands, you beat the bad guys, you beat
Go.
Bowser.
What are you doing? Go by the pillar. Yes.
Like they're still great
Yeah.
games, but the formula is always going to be the same.
Yeah. Good. Granted, not every game needs a big story. Like Mario is perfectly fine with a simple story, but yeah,
Yeah,
Nintendo is
Nintendo.
too stuck in their ways at times.
Well, Nintendo is pretty good at like changing up the gameplay at least enough to make it fun. Because they're like they are capable of making like great stories, like with the Mario RPG games, Paper
I don't
Mario.
think I have enough like just weaponry
Yeah, you,
to fight it.
Okay, then have it kill you so that you get the weapons you already wasted back.
yeah, you might need to
'Cause
come back
if I
later
had
for
a
this one.
guardian, an actual like guardian weapon, I would feel more confident.
Yeah, that's not until you meet Robbie.
Well, no, you can get the little
And it,
guardian swords.
oh right, yeah. You,
I'm just worried
um,
I'm gonna forget about it. Forget that I
You
didn't finish
probably
this
will.
one.
well, yeah, well, you can always check on your world map because
Yeah, but it's so hard
the
to see.
yeah, sometimes.
I actually didn't know that if you die, you get your weapons back. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it reloads to past save.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, here is what do you think is the most sold console?
Um,
Everybody should know what that is.
I think it's the Wii, isn't it?
Close.
No, it's the PlayStation 2.
Shit. Yeah, right. Wait.
160 million.
You didn't know that?
Yeah. No, I get them confused a lot in my head because they're both like in the hundreds of millions.
Yeah, like here's the ranking for PlayStation consoles. Like PlayStation at number one, then comes the PlayStation 4 with 117 million.
I'm surprised the PS4 sold that much.
Then comes the original PlayStation with 102 million. Then comes the
Um,
PlayStation 3 with 87 million. Then comes the PSP with 76 million. Then comes the PlayStation 5 with 54 millions.
oof.
And then the PS Vita with 50 to 16 million.
Also, fun fact: the reason why the PS2 sold a lot of copies is because it was generally cheaper to buy a PlayStation 2 than it was to buy a regular DVD player back then.
Yeah,
Yep.
like it worked. Yeah, that really was one of the best ideas Sony ever could have had.
Hey,
Yeah, you
you
could
want to
like,
hear something funny that I was just reminded of?
what's up?
There was a YouTuber that I watch, YouTube streamer that I watch. He 100%ed the Tears of the Kingdom in like a little over 100 hours or something like that. And so he got a tweet that was being really like critical and being like, "Man, you played the game too fast. And what are you gonna do now? Like collect all the rocks?" And so to prove them wrong, he went and gathered up of one of every type of rock in Tears of the Kingdom.
How is
He basically built a car and just traveled around the entire game picking up one of every rock.
Fight is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. What do you guys think is the most ported video game?
Oh, that would have to be like
Tetris.
Doom or Tetris.
Tetris, yeah. Assume they don't count all the crazy ways you can play Doom on because that would probably be too insane. Like they only probably count official ports,
Yeah, but
not something.
Tetris does not surprise me. That's like a game.
I'm pretty sure almost every console in existence has Tetris in some form.
Heck, Tetris used to come on your phone.
Tetris used to come
You
on your
can I'm sure
computers
you
for
can
free.
still find it on your phone somewhere.
Yeah, like my old flip phone had demo for Tetris on it.
The Game Boy Tetris is still the best one. Did my opinion stun you into silence?
Now I'm reading something in the server.
Okay, because that was just like
I
10
was
seconds
looking
of
at like,
dead air.
man, I might have to like use one of my stamina things for this one.
Yeah, maybe. See, I always
Ooh,
just get
oh, I almost threaded the needle.
yeah, I always just go first to get Vivaldi scale before I do any of these more difficult towers.
Dude,
I
if
like
we
having
were
the tower
playing
so I can see it.
if we were playing, we wouldn't have gotten to a single divine beast yet.
Yeah.
If I was playing, I would drag you all to get into every single tower, going to as many shrines as possible, then going to the forest to get the Master Sword, going to Hyrule Castle
No!
to get the Hylian Shield, not
Womp
doing that,
womp womp.
and then would I only feel comfortable to go after a divine beast.
God, I had it.
Aww.
Yeah,
A
that
pity
sucks.
party for wet.
I'll play the world's smallest violin for you. It really is the world's smallest violin.
Okay, what game do you think was the fastest to make $1 billion?
Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yes.
Yeah. It's still
Oh,
like the most profitable video game ever, isn't it?
yeah.
That's why they
Yeah.
keep porting it.
Mhm. You be fair, you can do a lot of shit together with friends in GTA Online. Like, Hololive has a full-on GTA roleplay server now, where they
Uh,
just do a bunch of chaos.
I'm. It's hard to find YouTubers that don't have a roleplay server these days.
Okay, here are the fastest, highest grossing movies and video games in order. Number one, GTA 5. My god, that game is over. It's from 2013.
Yep,
Okay,
11 years ago.
how fast they earned the $1 billion? How long do you think it took GTA 5?
Ah, it had to be like, I would say like a few months.
3 days.
Three. Oh my god! What the hell?
Avengers Endgame took 5 days.
Oh my
Call of
god!
Duty Modern Warfare 2, 10 days.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. Call of Duty took
Avengers Infinity War 11 days.
Huh, I'm
Star Wars The
surprised.
Force Awakens 12 days. And Spider-Man No Way Home also 12 days.
Mm. Endgame doesn't surprise me because that was back when the MCU was still insanely popular.
Yeah, they really should have just taken a break after that.
Now you gotta squeeze out that money, man.
Yeah. Well, these are the numbers as of the 25th of April 2024.
I
Hmm.
still find it weird that they consider the third Spider-Man movie as part of Phase 3.
Hmm.
That still just doesn't make sense to me.
What? No Way Home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Phase
No,
Three? I thought
Phase...
that was
No,
Phase
the
Four.
second one, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no. Far From Home.
Far From... Yeah, they
Yeah,
Yeah.
consider it part of
because
Phase 2 for Phase 3 for some reason. Oh, there it is.
yeah, I don't know why it is.
Probably because it's the movie that plays right after Endgame.
Yeah,
Yeah, but no, Endgame should have been the end of Phase 3.
Yeah, true, true. It
it's
should be the
called
big.
Endgame, not nearly the Endgame.
Yeah. That had the second Spider-Man had the best version of Mysterio yet. I honestly hate that they killed him off.
I love how much of a piece of shit he is.
Yeah, like I love this version of
Like
Mysterio.
his
I
whole
really.
rivalry with Tony starts because of the fucking acronym he gave his gadget. Barf. Like, how petty do you gotta be to start a rivalry because of that?
It was so crazy because, like, I had heard so many things about Mysterio, and then that was my first actual time getting to see him.
Yeah, like I know Mysterio from the cartoon, and I always like Mysterio. I like his that he's more of an illusionist, that Peter has to outsmart him and not physically beat him. But this version of Mysterio, I really wish he had survived because this was the first time he genuinely felt like a dangerous threat.
Yeah, him going from like this caring father figure to Peter, replacing Tony, and then it
In
just turns
one,
out
and
that
then in a snap, you
it
see that
like
it was just him acting.
yeah, like Jake's like performance in that movie is great.
Yeah.
Like
To be fair,
the way he sells the act of him like being like this poor like guy who lost everything, like
it,
and tricking Peter into like giving up his stuff to him because he feels like Mysterio deserves it more than he does, and then it's all just one big act.
and then that last stab in the heart at the end of the movie. Not only making Peter appear as the villain, but revealing his secret identity.
He's just a piece of shit.
Yeah, that for that reason alone, I wish he had survived, because I really want Peter to get the satisfaction of punching him in the face for that.
That's probably like the most damaging thing he could have ever done because like
Yeah, like
that
that basically fucked over Peter's life, it fucked over Aunt May's life, and also the life of his two friends.
like literally upended Peter's life considering everybody literally forgets about him.
Yeah, like which I hate. I hate that so much. Like, come on.
Everybody hates that ending.
Yeah, they couldn't have simply have like, okay, that whole thing goes wrong. That I can kind of understand, but I would rather have the people forgot Spider-Man than Peter.
Well, they adapted that from like a
Well,
comic.
see, but then that's just easily solved. He would just start being Spider-Man again, and people would eventually like
Yeah, but
come to have Spider-Man again.
I,
It's something
I
that
just
can be more easily reversed.
I
honestly I think he should have just come back and had to accept at the end of the movie. I have to face this properly. I can't just magic this problem away.
the
I
thing
think
with
it's go on.
the MCU these days is that they're adapting comic storylines, but the storylines they're adapting are just shit. Like
Or they
they're
only
bad
take bits and pieces
storylines.
from it. Like
Yeah,
Thor
but
Ragnarok was a bit of Planet Hulk, a bit of Ragnarok, a bit of here, a bit
like
of that.
what's Iron Girl, Iron Lady, whatever the
I
fuck her
Ironheart.
name is.
Ironheart,
Iron
yeah. I hear she's very
Ironheart.
unpopular.
Yeah, her like comic run was like shit. Like she
I
was written like shit. Her character
uh,
is shit. She's just like this entitled brat
oh
that
good.
nobody likes, and they adapted her in the movies, and nobody wants her. It doesn't help that the MCU is also adapting these shit storylines and somehow making them shittier.
You know, for a long
Mm,
time, I didn't until very recently understand why people hated Modoc so much. I genuinely didn't understand it, but then when I looked it up, it made a lot more sense. That it was people
I
were like, it wasn't the individual elements that people hated. Like I don't know if either of you have seen the movie.
I
Uh,
haven't.
He's if you
you
don't
mean the
mind
show?
this, no, I mean like the live action one.
There's a live action Modok?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
He was in the he was in the third Ant-Man movie. He was supposed to
Uh,
be the villain. He's the villain from the first movie, the first Ant-Man movie, but deformed because he got shrunk to pieces basically. So it deformed
that's
him.
so dumb.
Well, no, just wait. People actually weren't upset about that. It was
Okay.
because it makes sense to like give him like it makes sense in the context of the MCU.
Okay, yeah.
Um,
well, it's like
the here let me
when they
finish.
made that.
So it was people were okay with that, but then the movie kind of just makes fun of him rather than treat him as something serious. Which
Oh no, no, never do that.
again, people were like, that we could kind of see that, but it was the fact that it was both elements combined that people didn't like.
But
They either wanted him to be serious and work for the MCU, or not be serious but not be like something connected.
This
like I
is
don't
why
mind.
it worked better when Red Skull, when he gets like the
Hmm.
Here, Nebby,
teleported away.
I want to show you what he looked like too, because there was one more thing that people didn't like about him.
They like brought Red Skull back for Infinity War and showing what happened to him.
Yeah, that
The
I liked.
difference is that they like deliver it seriously. Like Red Skull turned into like this like serious like detached person.
A little husk of his former self.
Yeah, and like that worked because
Hey,
it was delivered so well.
Neppy, I sent it in the chat.
Oh god, that looks so. It looks exactly how I imagined it to look, but it looks so bad as
People
well.
say a lot
Modoc,
from what I've seen online. People say they would have liked it more if he looked more deformed and less soft. Like
Yeah, like
if
Modoc
they
looks
leaned
like
that is
super
that's
hard
the
into the
yeah
deformed
exactly
angle.
that's the problem. That is just a superimposed head on a tiny body.
why does Modoc look like he walked off the set of Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
Yes, exactly.
It is that guy, isn't
That's
it?
exactly how he looks. Yes.
Like what the fuck is going on with that design?
Except somehow they did it better in Shark Boy Lava Girl.
Yes. Like Modok looks completely deformed in the actual comics.
Here,
Like he has
let's I
yeah,
can send you a redesign someone did that looks way better.
exactly.
Yeah, please, I don't want to look at this anymore. Hmm. Like I can it's really hard to put that design in live action, I feel like.
Yeah, honestly, they maybe should have completely reworked Modok. Like he's an artificial intelligence anyway. Make him a complete robot then.
I just it's just one of those things that I feel like you can't like do in live action without
I mean, it works,
completely
but you have to
redesigning.
rework the design a lot.
Also, speaking of the MCU, I was watching Age of Ultron and
This looks
specifically
so much better.
specifically like TikTok edits of like Ultron's lines, and Ultron deserved like his own like series of movies instead of just being relegated to one movie.
Yeah, honestly, they should have not killed him off instantly.
Yeah, because he has so many good lines and great
Yeah, I mean,
action
I
like at least
moments.
like Loki got like 2 movies technically.
yeah,
Yeah, but Ultron,
I love
people
that
tend
his
to
ult.
Oh
overlook
my
him a
god.
lot.
I
What's
love
up?
that Ultron actually talks here. Like he actually talks like a person and doesn't just talk in typical logical robot manner.
I saw like a lot of the thing about like how people typically make fun of like Marvel humor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it works for Ultron so well because he's supposed to be like Tony. So
yeah, he's
he
basically the
has
closest
Tony's
we get to an
humor.
act.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so him being
originally he was Ant-Man's creation, wasn't he? Like the
yeah,
original Ant-Man.
yeah. The original Ant-Man based him on his own brain patterns. Problem is, Ant-Man was always a little bit mentally complete and utterly fucked over in the head, so that didn't go well
I
at
love
all.
the running joke where like Ultron saw the internet for like 5 seconds and knew what he needed to do. Like that's
Can
just
you
like the
blame him?
generally accepted thing. But Ultron in the movie is always overlooked because like people like oh, Loki was better. Oh, Thanos was better. But Ultron, I feel like he could have worked so much better if he had more time and
Yeah.
more
Also,
movies to flesh him
my
out.
biggest issue with Age of Ultron is actually not even Ultron. My biggest issue, I fucking hate Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Really?
I hate their motivation.
Uh, well, I didn't really hate like Quicksilver.
Like, I mean, I
I,
don't like I hate them as characters. It's just I think that uh, their motivation is so stupid that it just annoys me.
if I remember right, they were like trapped in their house with like a bomb or like a missile or something that had, like Tony Stark's emblem on it.
Yeah, and that because of that they wanna kill Tony when that weapon was probably built when Tony had nothing to do with it. Like, yeah, he built a weapon. Wow. By that logic,
Well,
by that logic, Batman should have gone beaten up the guy who built the weapon that killed his parents.
well, that's not really the same thing. Like Tony got
Tony
shit
is the
on.
explicit reason that her parents are dead.
No,
Yeah, well,
because then they would have simply used weapons from a different manufacturer.
no, look, Tony got shit on by a reporter for like making weapons of war in the first movie,
Yeah.
and he got shit on again for like not backing off
Oh, I
on it, even though
forgot.
he did, and he goes to Obadiah about it. And it's like, well, somebody needs to keep it up, Tony. We can't like
I just realized I went basically in a circle because I was so interested in the conversation I wasn't really paying attention.
look like Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Tony was a lot more involved with the weapon production, or at least he didn't really care. He didn't give a shit about what it was doing to people. He just gave money towards those people because it was giving him money. And for that, I think that that makes Tony just look complicit in these things because that is still his money directly funding these weapons of war that took their parents away from them and ruined their lives. And I feel like that it's like I don't blame them for blaming Tony for that because a lot of people do get on his case for funding weapons like that woman who lost her son because of like the Avengers or something. Like I feel like they're totally justified in hating Tony for that. It's just like
Mm.
Ultron had more like genocidal, overly evil plans than just getting revenge on Tony. Like I feel like they're totally justified on that end.
I don't
Yeah, I
know. I
agree.
don't like it. I don't like it. I think that my problem is that Sony no longer is in the weapons business. I just hate
Wasn't
that
that
he's still getting shit on when no, he has stopped all weapons production years ago.
yeah, but they don't know that.
I mean, she was in his mind. She should know that.
It's still like
The funny thing is,
again,
she's even worse. She's in a lot of people's opinions even worse in the second
uh,
I
Doctor
ha-
Strange movie.
yeah,
yeah,
well I won't I
that's a
won't
cold.
defend Scarlet Witch as she goes on because
Yeah, no,
I do
like
hear that she like got so much worse
Like,
as the movies
do
went
you
on.
know what
But
the
yes,
original plan for the second Doctor Strange movie was?
no,
no, I haven't even seen the second Doctor
you
Strange
haven't
movie.
missed anything. It's so freaking like
It had so much potential to be super cool. It was like she wasn't supposed to be the villain in that movie. She was supposed to be revealed as a villain at the end, so they could have that build up to it. But
what?
and it was supposed to have more stuff to do with the other sorcerer guy from the first movie.
So Mordor should actually finally become the villain instead of just implied that they have enemies now and never showing it.
Yeah, he
I
was
love
supposed to actually show up and be the
Yeah, but I mean,
villain.
yeah, it was another version of him.
to go back to Age of Ultron for a bit. There was like this TikTok edit of the conversation that Ultron has with what's his name?
Jarvis.
Well, Vision at like the end of the movie
Ah, Vision.
where
Okay.
there's like you're afraid of you of death. You're the last one. You were supposed to be the last. Stark wanted a savior. He settled for a slave. I guess we're both disappointments then. Like it's like Ultron just has so many good moments in it that
Yeah, like.
I would have killed to see like a full trilogy of movies dedicated to
Mhm.
him because he had so much potential.
Ultron
It,
deserves more than just one movie. Like Ultron is my
yeah,
favorite Avengers villain.
If he had gotten build up like Loki and Thanos did, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, like maybe they should have. Honestly, Ultron should have been introduced in Iron Man 3.
yeah. I think that would have worked
Yeah, like have
wonderfully.
Ultron take over AIM at the end of the movie, and that's how he then builds his many bodies. And then maybe have him show up be involved in another movie, and then have him be the main villain in Avengers 2.
Yeah, he just needed a lot more build up because his lines and the actor who plays him, I forget what his name is. He does it so well,
Hmm.
and it's just like I just don't think it's fair that he gets overlooked so much compared to Loki and Thanos.
Well, he's still not as the worst villain of these movies. I think the worst villain is Zemo in Civil War.
Dude, I can barely remember Baron Zemo from that movie. I
I
remember
only
I remember him better from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I didn't
I
even know that was Baron Zemo until much later. I genuinely didn't register with me because
I
I
only
only know Zemo in the Avengers cartoon from the early 2010s when Avengers 1 came out. That's the version of Zemo I know, and there he's dressed as like in old-fashioned pink knight gowns with a mask, so I did not recognize him at all.
I only I only remember the scene he has with Black Panther because I thought that was a really well done scene, but it's also the only good scene Zemo has. Like
Yeah,
literally, like
Well,
he's like
you clearly didn't see his dancing scene in the
like
series.
he's like
I didn't watch
Panther
any
is
of the
like
series. I didn't know
you
he reappeared.
like Panther is like
He's a very awkward dancer,
Eh,
and it's kind of
oh yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. Let Yuri finish.
Sorry.
like Panther is like you almost maybe killed the wrong man, and Zemo's like hardly an innocent one, and
Actually,
like
in my eyes, Bucky is 100% innocent. Like it's not in any way, shape, or form his fault.
Civil War is just such a weird movie to me.
Yeah, like honestly, I like it. My only issue is when Cap learns that Bucky killed Tony's parents. The moment Tony arrived, Cap should have just taken Tony aside and said, "Hey, listen, I learned something. You won't like it. It's bad. Promise me you will listen to me."
That's also like another plot line that should have had more than one movie dedicated to it.
Yeah, and I feel like in at that point in time, Tony would have it. He probably would still would have been very angry, but
Like,
he
yeah, he
would
would
have.
have been
I think he
angry.
would have listened if he had heard it from him.
Like, I think he would have punched Bucky in the face afterwards, but I can fully imagine that he would be like, Steve vouches for you. I will hate you forever, but I trust his judgment for now.
Yeah,
Step out
because
of
like
line, and I kill you.
I
That,
remember in the movie where
Yeah.
like Tony's fighting like Captain America and like he doesn't even have like a program to like fight him because he never considered Cap to be like an enemy. So like he
yeah,
has to like quickly like come up with a maneuver to fight against him.
like he generally considered Steve his best friend, and to him that was just the greatest
There
betrayal.
it is.
Yep.
Ignore the giant eagle and it will ignore you.
I'm gonna get to the top of this, and then we're gonna end this episode.
Okay. What the best thing Civil War did was introduce the new Spider-Man.
Eh. I didn't really
God,
like Tom Holland at
I
first.
love looking at people reacting to trailers for that movie, and then just like the explosion when he shows
I
up.
enjoy watching the trailer reactions more than the actual movie.
I like watching the audience, like trailer reactions and audience reactions.
I
Yeah, like,
remember like watching like the audience reaction to like Infinity War and Endgame and like people freaking out over like every single like moment or like reference or like it was just such pure enjoyment and excitement for this movie because it was like
jump.
yeah it was like the most hyped up movie for like the last decade and people were actually
Yeah.
enjoying seeing it.
Womp womp.
That was
It
not.
feels so weird to
It
me
was not
that
worth it.
Infinity War was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna end it there for this one.
Okay.
I thought there was supposed to be a
Okay.
shrine around here, but I haven't seen it.
It's on top of
Oh,
It's
that one?
over there.
in the village. Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
I didn't know if that was the one for this one or not.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry we're such nerds.
It's not
Except that
my
I'm
fault
not
the
sorry.
MCU wasted Ultron.
To be
Okay,
fair, they visited a lot of characters.
we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.